Tonight, here's the one thing. If offering opinions on the news can be linked to hate and extremism, then Paul Krugman should be in the cell right next to me, and on the other side will be Bill O'Reilly. Oh, and Paul. Oh, we can talk for years. Oh, yes, we can. Krugman has spoken in drastic terms about the grave danger posed by global warming. Why would I bring that up? Well, haven't you seen the evidence? October 15, 2007, he wrote in the New York Times column, quote, "It is in the interest of most people, and especially their descendants, that somebody do something to reduce emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. But each individual would like that somebody to be somebody else. Leave it up to the free market, and in a few generations, Florida will be underwater." Really? So why isn't Paul Krugman blamed every time there's a bombing by the Earth Liberation Front? Just waiting for an answer, Paul. Why isn't he responsible for ELF's 2,000 acts of arson? And it's weird, an organization has 2,000 acts of arson, firebombings, vandalism, intimidation, assault, stalking, and $110 million worth of property damage, all done in the name of protecting the environment, and I never see them on TV. Why? Why isn't Paul Krugman responsible for the people who chain themselves to redwood trees or vandalize big SUVs? Aren't those people just doing something to promote their cause, just like Krugman suggested or, I believe, incited? By the way, ELF and ALF, the top domestic terrorists, are both surprisingly on the left. How'd that happen? Then there is his statement on the Iraq War and torture. In October 2006, in the New York Times, Krugman wrote, "Iraq is a lost cause. It's just a matter of arithmetic. American forces are large enough to suffer terrible losses, but far too small to stabilize the country." It didn't work out for you, did it, Paul? But aren't you inciting Iraqi suicide bombers to target our troops? After all, Paul, you just told them that they were close to winning the war, that we were in a lost cause. And when you combine that with this earlier line from earlier this year, quote, "There is no way now to view people who ruled us these past 8 years as anything but monsters," well, you realize that Krugman is quite obviously responsible for the killing of that Army recruiter about a week ago in Arkansas. The Muslim convert, peaceful guy, apparently just reading Paul Krugman's column there in the New York Times. I feel bad for him. I mean, all he did was he said he killed the guy because he was opposed to the U.S. military. And how can you blame him, considering that his commander-in-chief for the last 8 years was a monster? Of course, all of this is ridiculous, as you probably have figured out by now. No rational person would blame Paul Krugman for environmental attacks, suicide bombings, or murders of soldiers. Yet, that is exactly what Krugman and the left try to do to those on the right, linking commentators who are exercising their right to free speech, which, yes, I still have a right to freely speak in this country, linking commentators like me and Bill O'Reilly to the murder of late-term abortion doctor George Tiller and to the shooting of by a white supremacist at the Holocaust Memorial Museum. I can sum up the response to that in one sentence. Those people were crazy, and crazy people do crazy things. For those who refuse to listen to what I actually say, let me do it again, and I'll speak very slowly because Paul is apparently a slow learner. Anybody who thinks that violence is the way to get their message across is a nut job. They discredit themselves and their own cause. But recognize this for what it is. This is an attempt to shut not me up, not Bill O'Reilly up, not the Fox News channel. This is to shut you up. Case in point. Earlier today on my radio program, I spoke to a listener from Iowa. His name is Randy Hudson. Is Randy on the phone? Randy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hi, Randy. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Good. Last night, you TiVo'd the show, and you were in bed with your wife. Tell me what happened.
You were speaking about why you were angry. Why aren't people in the street? Why aren't there people in the street? And I said, yeah, why aren't people in the street? And then I realized I wasn't in the street.
Right. Right.
None of us were in the street. We were all saying the same thing. When are they going to go into the street?
Right.
And then I realized it's time for us all to hit the streets with some signs and make a difference.
Now, Randy, when you realized that I was saying, you know, get one of those big cartoon bombs or drop safes out of windows on people's heads, right?
What I thought you meant was go out into the street with signs and peacefully protest, comrade.
Well, that's exactly what I would expect a right-wing extremist to say. So, Randy, this is why I believe Paul Krugman and everybody makes fun of the Tea Parties and everything else, because you didn't get off your couch and get into the street. Why? Before last night.
Because I was waiting. It was apathy. I said it this morning. Just being apathetic, not thinking someone else will take care of that, and then also kind of disbelief. I said to this morning that America's condition has been a stub toe and a skinned knee, and now I feel like its appendages are falling off. And, you know, there's got to be somebody that, I mean, Glenn, you're at the front of the line, and you're just a regular guy. I'm just a regular guy. Why can't I do the same thing and speak my mind?
You can.
And that's where I'm at.
Randy, thank you very much. I appreciate it.